Hello, property nomads. Hope you're well. We've got 6 slightly crazy predictions for this year. And I will point out before we crack on with them that these are just my predictions. I'm just having a bit of fun with this. These predictions will be slightly different to the predictions that you might have heard on the podcast with Mark Champ of War Financial. So these are more personal predictions. And let's start off at the top. So my first personal prediction this year is that gold's going to top $2,500. And the reason for that is simply that there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world at the moment. There's a lot of changes happening, a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And I think gold is going to break out amid economic meltdown. So that's prediction number one. Prediction number two is that the Bank of England is going to increase its base rate to at least 7%. I think that people think that inflation's done when it's really not, and we're just taking a step back before we take 2 steps forward. For that reason, I think in order to combat that, then the Bank of England will increase their base rate to at least 7%. Number three is that the commercial property market's going to collapse. Again, there's a lot of stuff brewing behind the scenes. We've spoken about this recently on the podcast itself about mortgage trusts and big companies that have got a lot of commercial loans on their books, and they are up for renewal this year, and they're going to be renewing a much higher interest rate, and that is no bueno. So that is not very good at all. And that's the reason why I think that finally this big bubble in commercial property is going to burst. That will create a lot of opportunity for people as well. House prices are going to increase by 5%. Now you might be thinking, well, it's a bit strange, Rob, because you're predicting the commercial property collapse, but then at the same time, you're predicting that house prices are going to go up by at least 5%. Number one, I'm a little bit bonkers, as you probably know already. But secondly, the rate of house building is just not there. It's nothing in comparison to the demand for housing. And therefore, I think those economics and the fact that the demand is outweighing supply, I just have a sneaky feeling that the house prices will go up by more than 5% in 2024. Number five is that oil is going to hit $120 a barrel. That's Brent crude. I'm far from an oil expert, but looking at the energy sector, looking at commodities sector, I think that there's a lot of stuff that's going on that we don't know about. There's a lot of political unrest. There's a lot of geopolitical tension as well. And all it takes is, dare I say it, an airstrike on the wrong place, in the wrong country, Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz, or issues with even the Panama Canal, anything like that that can further restrict the supply chain mechanism, that's going to force oil to go sky high. So I'm going to say by the end of the year, oil is going to have at least hit $120. And number six, which is a bit of a wild card, but again, I wouldn't put it past anything at all, to be honest with you. I reckon good old Sleepy Joe Biden is going to somehow be re-elected as president of the United States. And don't get me wrong, I'm not American. I don't really want that to happen either. But I think with things that happened in 2020 that are yet to be resolved, things that might just happen this year, it just wouldn't be far-fetched to say that he's going to somehow be re-elected as president of the United States. Let's see what happens. So Rob's own 2024 predictions, 6 of them. Number one, gold to hit $2,500 amid an economic meltdown. Number two is Bank of England to increase the base rate to at least 7% at some point. Number three is for commercial property market to collapse. Number four is for house prices to increase by 5%. Number five is for oil to hit $120 at some point in 2024. That's on a Brent crude contract. And a slight wild cardy one is that good old Joe Biden is going to somehow be re-elected as president of the United States of America. All of that being said, let us know what you think your 2024 predictions are. I'll pop them in the description below. Let's get into a conversation and let's see who says what. And thank you for listening to Property Nomads. If you could do us a small favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would be absolutely fantastic. Purely because it helps us to drive as much content as we can. Also, we're seeing a massive increase in downloads and subscriptions as well. So thank you very much for doing that. Helps us to spread the word. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.